Alright, welcome back to More Than Peachy's Gaming. I'm your host, Moone. Today we're actually going to be covering some skirmishes, and we're going to go ahead and start off with the lowest level skirmish that is available for level 70 plus. Okay? Please be aware that there are skirmishes that are below level 70, but they generally have level requirements that are capped at certain intervals, and we do not qualify for any of those skirmishes. It is a way of the game to balance out players that are too powerful to actually go forth and do. So, unfortunately, I was unable to acquire a group to go and do this skirmish. The first skirmish is Master of the Hunt. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and try to queue for it. Luckily, this is a fairly simple skirmish. Nothing's really too far needed. If you looked at the requirements to go in here, it's level 60 and above. That means as soon as you're level 60, you can participate. Just waiting for the queue. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer when you're doing a pickup group, also known as a pug. I have my good friend Ophelia, also goes by the name of Ludos, from my guild to help me out. So it's a tank and a healer working together. How often does that happen? A tank and a healer working together, no DPS to be found. Hardly ever happens. Alright, so we got Master of the Hunt popped up. We're going to be going in here in a moment. Alright, so this is a pretty straightforward map. You walk in, kill some enemies, you kill more enemies, you progress, you kill more enemies, and so forth, all the way until you get to the boss. So, they ask you to slay Fey Hounds. The hounds are off to the left, but there are some bigger enemies around. They want you to kill 4 hounds. The objectives are really easy to follow here, simply because they're on the right side of your screen. Oh wow, I got stunned. I'm just using my R2. I'm not really worried about using any dailies or the like. And then once we kill those, we get some red caps. In other words, goblins. Alright, we've killed 4 hounds. Now we have to defeat the Malabog's warriors. So, I believe that these would count as the warriors. Basically anything that comes and attacks you is a warrior, I guess, at this point in the game. Then they tell you, oh, you need to defeat something else. So the way opened, and it's going to tell us to slay Fey Hounds again. Alright, so we got some hounds there. Again, you don't really have to use anything particularly special. If you're having trouble with this, you might want to ask your level 70 friends to give you a hand. Since it's quick, they might not mind. The other option is try to play defensively and let the DPS that's with you kind of take up the slack, because if enemies are focused on you as a tank, then they won't be hurting your allies, which means that they can focus less on dodging and avoiding damage that they would take, and just simply focus on, well, dealing damage. Okay, we have the Witch's Fen up here. There are 3 witches, and we have to kill more hounds. There are 3 witches. You saw the first one that came in on the right, and then I turned around the corner and got to the second one. And the third one's a little bit further out. The other group is working on it. Again, builds should be roughly evolving at this point in the game, where you should be focusing a little bit less on your damage output, so less damage, you know, encounters, and be more focused on the support aspect of your class. Especially with if you're a tank or a healer or a buffer or a heal-it-in, definitely take on those roles. I'm simply beating them up right now because I'm not too concerned, because I'm way beyond what I should be here. Again, you only need to be level 60. I am 70 with an item level of over 3,700. So I should be more than enough to take down these enemies quite efficiently. That is to say that compared to the actual Sharandar, for the longest time I bellyached over and over about not being powerful enough to kill enemies as my DPS counterparts as friends. So here's the boss, Master of the Wild Hunt, which is really funny because I kept on calling this skirmish Master of the Wild Hunt, but people were like, no, it's Master of the Hunt. Alright, so this guy has quite a few red circles. You might want to try to avoid them. Plenty of stuff going on. Some key strategies here are to keep your distance if you are a ranged attacker, simply because he deals quite a bit of damage. Great thing about skirmishes, though, and this is all skirmishes, you always get a free chest. No matter what it is, it usually contains diamonds. Hey look, I got a Red Cat blood helm. Yay! I did not need that at all. So this is the first of our many skirmishes. I think there are like 5 in all, and 2 of those skirmishes have 2 variations, and 1 skirmish has a ton of variations, simply because it's supposed to be random. Oh, sorry. So that was Master of the Hunt, pretty much in a nutshell. You defeat enemies that they direct you to, and you just keep doing it until you reach the boss. Defeat the boss, defeat all the below minions, open the chest, and leave. Pretty straightforward. No secrets, no shortcuts. Nothing to really worry about. So again, thank you for watching this tutorial. Hopefully it was very informative, and we'll be going on to our next one here in a little bit.